To improve employee engagement, you want to make sure that employees love what they're doing. I'll explain that in this video. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and employee performance in the workplace. There's a lot of talk about employee engagement, and a lot of leaders try and do a lot of things organizationally to keep employees engaged with the company and with the job. But really, you have not that much control over employee engagement, because at the foundation, it begins with motivation to do the work. And if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be engaged with the work and with the company, no matter how many things the organization tries to do to engage employees. And that even means your leadership style. You can try and be the best leader you can and have great conversations with the employees, coach them. But if you're coaching somebody or engaging with somebody who doesn't really enjoy what they're doing, then no matter what you try and do, it's not going to work. So that's why I always say, make sure you hire the right person for the job. And that goes beyond just their ability to do the job. You could have somebody who has the skill set to do a job, but if they don't like or love what they're doing, the components of the job. Now, I'll give you an example, because this happened to me, and this is what made me think of doing this video. I help clients recruit employees and help them with the interview process. And I set up an interview with a few potential candidates for one of my clients. And I woke up that morning and I looked at what was on my agenda, and the interviews were late morning, early afternoon, and I felt a sense of excitement. And I realized that, hey, I really like doing these interviews. And the reason I like it is because I like working with people. I like helping people. I like discussing with people. I like selling or offering things to people. And interviewing and attracting candidates is really kind of like selling yourself or selling the company to people to join your organization. So it's all the type of things I like to do. And that sense of excitement made me realize that I don't need to push myself to do this. I want to do it because I enjoy it. And so I know what my interests are. They're people, they're enterprising, and they're creative. And you know, the creative interests revolve not just around creative pursuits. I mean, I like making videos. I like taking photographs, learning to play the piano. So those are creative type of pursuits. But in terms of work, I like solving problems or coming up with creative solutions to new ways of doing things. So that's part of creativity and things that leaders really like to do. So it's really important to understand yourself. What are your interests? We use a tool, the PXT Select, that breaks or has 6 interest areas that we assess candidates on or help people know themselves better through identifying what are their top 3 interests and how does that match to the top 3 interests required for a particular job. And that's how we could see how well they're matched motivationally for that particular job. And that's a section of our assessment which is really important to know about people, especially when you're hiring. Because if people don't have the match for those interest areas, they're not going to be fully engaged with the job, and they're going to be forced to do things that they don't love, even though they could have the skill for it. But the more you love something, the more you want to develop that skill, the more you want to become good at it. So I'll list those 6 key areas. To really find out what your top 3 is, I suggest you take the assessment. Now, I don't offer this for free. You'll have to pay for it. But also on the article that goes with this video, I'll put a description for each, and you could do an exercise where you choose what are your top 3 out of the 6, and then see what types of work really requires those types of interest. And that's where you want to really focus your job search if you're looking for a job, or try and find out what your candidates have as interest when you're going through the hiring process. But of course, I do recommend using a tool like the PXT Select, because that's your best bet to really find out what the interests or the true interests are of your employees and how that will keep them engaged in the job. So at the foundation, hire people that have engagement with the work, and then whatever else you add as far as engagement with the company, with the team, will just add icing on the cake. So I hope this tip makes sense. Check out the article, as I mentioned, that goes along with the video. I'll put a link to that in the description of the video. Check out related videos on the website or on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications to get news of new videos. Leave a comment if you'd like to hear from you. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.